So there I was, working on another video, one of my completely innocuous regular videos that doesn't actually do anything to affect the game, when all of a sudden Behavior released this god tier update, which by the way, some of you are going to hate, some of you are going to love, but I want to go through it because I'd made it a habit to not cover every developer update because frankly, they're just not all that interesting. Some of them, they're fine, but this one's worth covering. So this is the developer update March 2023. I'm going to go and tell you, this one reworks maps, it hits Circle of Healing, Dead Hard, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, Call of Brine. This one's huge, and they even found time to nerf the Hillbilly, so great, cool. I'm not going to spend too much time on this part. This is just talking about the Blood Web. If you're one of those people who you've got a lot of blood points and you want to burn through them a little more quickly, they've done some things to do that. So apparently they're doing the Blood Web chain, or the automatic purchase. So if you just click it instead of holding it, it'll purchase it instantly. That'll save you a couple seconds. If you click at the end of a blood web, it looks like you'll get that entire chain of them now. Or if you click in the very middle of it, it'll just buy everything on the blood web for the cheapest price possible. So not a big deal. Let's see, let me see if I can open that in a new tab. So here's a good picture of it. So this is what we're dealing with. You're going to have this, and so for example, if it's going to take the cheapest route, it looks like if you click this, it might go boom, boom, boom. It's just going to keep going until your blood web's gone. So overall, is that a big deal? Not necessarily, but it's a quality of life thing. Speaking of quality of life, we have this now from DBD Mobile, where we'll be able to see the heartbeat. This one is pretty cool. So basically, the heartbeat's going to work in line with the killer's terror radius. So you see Clown there. I like how Clown and not Ghostface or Wraith or anybody like that. Yeah, whenever they want to have something where somebody's in the background, like watching a survivor, it's almost always Clown, and I adore it. It's great. Yeah. So as he gets closer, this is going to start beating, and I think these little almost veins are going to start going out further. This one's a big win for accessibility because players who are hard of hearing are going to be able to use this, and it's going to be really cool. And then honestly, I like to listen to music and I like to watch stuff on my other monitor while I play Survivor, so I might also use it. Just don't tell on me, don't let anyone know. So yeah, overall pretty cool. And what's even cooler about it is check this out. They actually have it for different types of color blindness too, so they already thought about that, and that's really cool. I think that is, again, very my voice cracked. That's taking me back to high school. Very big win for the game from this standpoint. Again, we haven't even gotten to the parts that are about balance, but just in terms of accessibility and quality of life, pretty big wins. So Auto Haven Wreckers is getting an update. I could read it all for you, but we'll just make it short, and we'll say that the Blood Lodge, which has long since been kind of, there's a lot of debate about it. Is it survivor sided? Is it killer sided? And as they point out in their thing, it's kind of both, because the middle area would sometimes spawn with all of the pallets, and sometimes it would spawn with very few pallets, which would determine who was going to have a good game and who, was the killer going to have fun or were the survivors going to have fun, because it wasn't going to be both of them. And this way, what they're doing is they're taking this main building and they're bringing it towards the center of the map so that you have the powerful structure in the middle. So overall, that seems like a bit of a W for survivors, but we'll see how that goes. It's Gas Heaven. Gas Heaven is also getting one. I was playing on this map just recently, and I was like, dude, something's got to be done. So what they're going to do is, you see back here this big wall of cars. They're going to break it up. Instead of covering multiple tiles, you're going to have car stacks that cover a single tile and sometimes have a pallet on them. So it's going to be more interactable, and you can't just have you're not going to waste time as a killer having to go around that stack anymore, which is just a godsend, which makes sense because it's heaven. They're also bringing the main building into the center of the map, and they're going to make the vaults a little less god tier, which is nice to hear because they seem like they're going around adding god tier loops to like every map here lately. So I'm glad that this one, they're like, no, we know it's already a really strong building for survivors. We're going to loop it. We're going to tone it down just a little bit. Speaking of toning down, here's maybe the biggest part of the update. I mean, some people, I know some people are going to be like, well, that's not the biggest part of the update, but they did a massive nerf to healing. It's specifically medkits, and I think once you factor it in with what they did to Circle of Healing, yeah, I think this might be the biggest part. So every type of medkit you can get has been toned down. So that's all this right here. So the camping medkit, which is the brown one, used to heal you at 25% healing speed. Now it's down to 20. The yellow one from 35 to 25. The emergency medkit, the green one that you used to be able to get with pharmacy really easily, 50%, now it's 30. And then the purple one from 50 to 35. So these numbers are not game changing per se, but it is really nice. It is really nice when you combine these numbers with the fact that first, healing will now take 24 seconds instead of 16 seconds. This is going to help out some of the weaker killers a lot. This is going to help out your wraiths and your clowns and your doctors. These are going to be the killers that benefit from this a lot. So really, really good stuff there. I am extremely happy about that. And I don't think that's an oppressive enough change that survivors are going to be too upset about it. But then again, I spent a little bit of time on Twitter before making this, and well, you'd be surprised. All right, perk updates. This is huge too. So some of these are not super relevant. Gearhead got a little buff. All right. Basically, Gearhead, when a survivor... I'm sorry if you hear my Discord, by the way. I forgot to mute it. Gearhead, when a survivor loses a health state, Gearhead activates for 30 seconds. While active, any survivor who hits a good skill check will keep their aura revealed to the killer for 8 seconds. So, is this going to become a meta perk? No, but it's more useful now, so that's nice. Overzealous, which is the Hattie one, where if you break a totem, you do gens 8% faster. Now it also counts for booning a totem, which I actually think really helps this perk, because instead of a maximum of 5 tokens, you hypothetically have unlimited, right? As many times as you can boon the same totem. So they also give it a minor buff to 10% repair speed boost. Good, that's good. That's a good fix. Again, is it going to become meta? I don't think so, but it's nice. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, this one hurts me a lot because I use this almost every game as a killer, but that's why they're nerfing it. So this perk has gradually found its way back into the meta. To address this, we've given Scourge Hook Pain Resonance a slight rework. So it's not just a blanket nerf, they're changing how it works. So now it's a token perk. It starts with 4 tokens, and the first time each survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the generator with most progress will explode and lose progress. Which means to me, and I can't tell for sure, I can't tell if it's saying what I think it's saying, that you only get 4 pops out of Pain Res. If that's what they're doing, this perk is dead. If that's what they're doing, Pain Resonance is not going to be brought anymore. Which is sad, because I actually don't think it's that unhealthy of a perk. You can question the Pain Res and Dead Man Switch combo, but I don't think Pain Res was necessarily the problem there. So if that's what they're saying, I dislike that a lot. If that's not what they're saying, okay, then I'm more okay with it, but I don't know what else it would be. Yeah, but they try to, if survivors are like, haha, they killed it, they killed Pain Res. Let's talk about Dead Hard. So, fell from grace, it's climb back up, yeah, a little history of it. It received a rework. Okay, so Dead Heart will activate after safely unhooking a survivor. When activated, press the active ability button while injured. Okay, it works how it did, but now you have to save a survivor first. I like this a lot. I like that you actually have to earn your Dead Hard now, because Dead Hard, guys, there's all this talk about it. Dead Hard is such a game changer sometimes. I'm not saying every time, but I am saying it comes up more than you might give it credit for. And the whole just wait it out thing, I think that's a generally bad faith argument, but I'm happy about this, and I think that nobody can complain too much about what's happening to their side, because they're coming for a lot of the top perks. So Pain Res, Call of Brine is also changed. Overcharge has changed. Was there anything else? No, there's not. Circle of Healing and Dead Hard are changed. So what they did is they went for the regression perks, and they went for what you might call the kind of BS, almost second chance perks. this second coming of the second chance perks. Not bad, not bad. So Call of Brine got a huge nerf, huge nerf. Instead of regressing at 200% speed, it goes to 125. Call of Brine is dead, definitely. That one's gone. Overcharge, I'm just not sure it needed a nerf, but I think it's a bit of a noob stomper. I think that newer players cannot hit that skill check, so maybe that's why they did it. But the skill check penalty was reduced from 5% to 4%. That's pretty negligible, but it also had its regression speed go from 200% to 130, which I don't like because it also took so long. And I know, look, they made the starting regression speed 85 instead of 75, but I don't like this one. I don't think Overcharge was a terrible one, but I think they're trying to get out ahead of knowing that if Call of Brine was taken, which it is, nobody's going to bring it anymore, people were going to start bringing Overcharge. Now, Circle of Healing. This is the last major perk change. You can't heal yourself anymore without a med kit. I can hear the screaming now. I can hear it now. This one is going to be the one that bothers people the most, because generally, when it comes to like Dead Hard, it's not that hard to get safe on hooks, unless you're dealing with like a camping Bubba or something, and then you shouldn't be going for unhooks. You should be slamming gens. However, in the case of Circle of Healing, the main benefit of it was that you could put Circle of Healing up, and you could just leave it there. Your teammates, whenever they get smacked, they can go heal themselves. It's like everybody has a basic med kit pretty much at all times throughout the match, which was just super unfun to go against. So I kind of like that you have to actually have something to heal yourself with to heal yourself there, but you do still get that benefit of being able to heal each other more quickly in the boon, and it reveals the auras of everyone. Wait, what? Yeah, the auras of injured survivors will be revealed to everyone that's in the range of Circle of Healing. So if you're injured, you can go there and just wait, but that way there is more of a cost to it. So overall, my thoughts on these changes are that there's the part of me that could complain, oh, you took all of our best perks on both sides. But I'm not going to do that, because I said that I wanted them to shake up the meta in a real way. And that's what they're doing here. I can't wait to see what the meta looks like now that this has taken effect. I can't wait to see what killers start running and what survivors start running. I would expect... Oh, man, predictions. They always blow up in my face, but we're going to try. I would expect Sloppy Butcher to become much more common on pretty much everybody, but, you know, Huntress and Nurse. I definitely think we're going to see that, because longer heal times plus the mangled status effect, that's really good. As far as survivors go, I do think Dead Hard will still see some use, definitely, but I think that it might be the point in time where we're going to start seeing more Sprint Burst, more Lithe. If people are real Chad gamers, they'll start bringing Smash Hit, but they won't, spoiler alert, because I can't use it. But yeah, so I think that Sprint Burst is probably about to become even more popular, which I've seen so many people make the case on Twitter, oh, you're gonna hate Sprint Burst even more. Test me, watch me, bookmark this, come back like a year from now, if Sprint Burst is unchanged from how it is now and becomes like the meta perk, watch me, I promise you I would welcome that. That's a welcome change. So these are welcome changes because it shakes up the meta, and if they turn out to be disastrous, guys, they can always revert them. That's always a possibility. So a couple of killer updates here. Billy, at first I was so excited. So they made his overheat mechanic more forgiving, but they also made it where it overheats more quickly while he's sprinting. So while he's charging it, it overheats more slowly. While he's sprinting, it overheats more quickly. So it's still the same freaking problem, and I just don't get it. I don't get why this killer has to have the overheat mechanic. It doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. It upsets me to no end that they seem so hell-bent on making sure Billy is never as strong as he once was. And, you know, fine, you don't want to make him as strong as he was. whatever. I don't think he was necessarily a problem, but I get it. It didn't necessarily feel good for an instability to get you down. But why does he need the overheat mechanic? And then, as if that wasn't enough, they nerfed the Doom engravings and Death engravings. So I don't even know what to tell you. This was such a W update in so many ways, but this is just stupid. It's just stupid. I don't get it. I don't get why you would nerf the Hillbilly. Was Hillbilly overperforming? There's almost no way. There's almost no way he was overperforming. All right, the pig. The pig, I do like that they threw in a little joke here, so we've decided to nerf the pig and they crossed it out. Yeah, this one's irrelevant though. They're just moving her crouch speed is being buffed if she's using the John's Medical File add-on. Nothing much there. Oni, this is laughably irrelevant. Now the add-ons that make you move more quickly while you pick up blood orbs have gone from 0.3 and 0.6 to 0.4 and 0.7. Nobody's gonna even feel that one. That one's just irrelevant. The Nightmare, all right, great. The blindness status effect by the 2 block add-ons. 30 more seconds, whatever. It's more useful. It's better than these other 2. Executioner, Killer Instinct lasts longer when you're using the Scarlet Egg. Irrelevant. So they kind of bookended it with the big nerfs. Billy's chainsaw, and then Clown, the Pinky Finger, got another nerf, which is kind of... I'm actually okay with it. I know people are probably expecting me to hate this because I'm a Cloud main, but the Pinky Finger is really, really strong. So basically, they've toned down the maximum number of held bottles by 3. It was 2. So the way that it works is the Clown starts with 4 bottles. He starts with 4, and he can use the add-on, his purple add-on, to bring an additional 2. So you're up to 6. Now, obviously, Clown is going to be able to, let's see. Yeah, it's by 3, not 2-3. So now he'll be able to have 3 bottles. Yes. I'm so good at math. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine. If you need 3 bottles, maybe you do. Maybe it's a really good survivor you're facing. Maybe they're a juicer. Okay, sure. But yeah, it's a nerf, but it's not like people are gonna rethink the Clown now. Like he's been kind of a C tier Andy for a while now, and he's gonna stay there. The bright light interactions. So when it comes to how flashlights work with survivor with killer powers, kind of interesting. So you can no longer light burn the Wraith. Wraith mains rejoice. You don't have to feel that pit in your stomach when you load into a lobby and see like 2, 3, 4 flashlights. That's awesome. That's a good change. I don't like that they made it where you can't stun the nurse with it anymore because nurse is so oppressive. I like any counter to her that exists. Artist, you can't get rid of her crows anymore. But the one that's interesting about that, again, they kind of bookended it. Wraith, very interesting. Hag. The Hag, you don't destroy her traps with flashlights anymore, but everybody can clear her traps now by crouching on top of them and doing a several second long action to clear it. Hag mains, how do you feel about that? I don't play Hag. I've been very open that she's my least favorite killer, but I know that some people love her, and I'd be interested. Let me know in the comments below. Is this a massive nerf for Hag? Because it kind of feels like it. Maybe. I think she's still going to be a good killer, though. And then the Deep Rift, this is kind of irrelevant. This is just saying that the way they want to do it going forward is that when there's a new non-licensed chapter, you can expect that the next tome will be about that character, which means that our next tome is going to be about Talita and Hinatu. So that'll be good. Oh, and I guess Skull Merchant as well, which is kind of a bold choice that they're doubling down on Skull Merchant. But, you know, at the same time, who the hell cares, right? They released her. She's in the game. If we stand here and we just keep kind of bitching about it, like, what are we going to do, right? I think that reflects more poorly on us. So that's the update. It's going to, what is it? It's next week, I believe, right? I think, yeah, it's going to open next week. So from the time of releasing this, crazy huge update. This one's going to shake up the meta. I can't wait. I am ecstatic for it, but I'm a little nervous because sometimes this community does not like change very much. And there's a part of me that's worried that the devs are going to get the wrong message from what I imagine is going to be some overwhelming hatred for this update. But deep breaths. Let's see how it plays out. Let's give it a chance, because I think the most fun I've probably ever had with this game was after they reworked the 39 meta perks, and everybody was just unsure what to use. So you actually saw some interesting perk add-ons for a while. Not add-ons, perk combinations. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. I hope you're excited too. But yeah, I don't plan to make something for every update, but this is just a massive one. This is a huge mid-chapter. But anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, I've been DustFood. Bye, friends.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my